Hospital, no response to UMC's offer to forgive almost half of that $100 million debt. Well, UMC now pulling the deal the same day Children's announces it has a new CEO. Hey, also a big story developing now. A chance the government will shut down at midnight. The Obama administration now circulating procedures for how the Department of Homeland Security is going to operate. Alejandro telling us on that story. Wow, I did not know this. But Nash, on the other hand, says day off. Some of you tonight defending UTEP's basketball coach, saying a bad call led to a suspension. Others, though, say the coach should be more of a role model. This will have us talking for the next half hour. And some of us old folks, we're glad to see a certain band is still rocking out. Coming to El Paso, not a children's hospital, a lot older than that. Nicole, we'll talk about that. And Ian tonight with not so nice words for us old folks.
It will be a windy weekend, but I'm tracking rain. Will it affect your weekend plans? That answer in Storm Track Weather.
And it's also Furry Friday, or Furry Friend Friday, kind of hard to say. Your pet pics that you've been sharing with us all day. It's all next on ABC-7 at 9. Get ready. You're part of the news right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley at Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
And we just don't want anything to stop.
If you didn't have this hospital, you would be going to Dallas or somewhere like that, wouldn't you?
It's a possibility. We really don't know what we would do.
El Pasoans caught in the middle, telling ABC-7 why the city really needs a children's hospital. The question is, will we have one much longer? Children's rejected UMC's offer to forgive almost half of that $90 million debt. It's a big developing story. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here on ABC-7 at 9 on the CW. I'm Bob Harp, and we have Nichole Gomez, our social media goddess, always hard at work getting your responses to the day's news and putting them all together for us.
Hey there, Bob. This newscast gives you at home a voice every night. So get at your laptops, your smartphones. We want to see you on the CW.
We want to see them every night. All right, Nicole, we will see you in just a moment. Hey, let's get to that top story. It is creating quite the social media buzz tonight. So again, the clock ran out on Children's Hospital's deadline to accept neighboring UMC's terms to manage its massive debt. So UMC's board chair blasted the Children's Board today and made it very clear that certain services that UMC has been providing Children's is going to stop altogether March 25th. So the deal was this. UMC was offering to repay just under half of its estimated $100 million debt and not having to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. That's what it was offering Children's to do. For covering the other half of it, UMC then would get control of Children's interest. We got a strongly worded statement from UMC this afternoon. The board chair, William Hansen, expressing disappointment that Children's didn't take its offer. Hansen said, quote, "After accepting services that they had not paid for, we are hearing claims in the media that Children's was somehow pressured into signing standard agreements years ago for services and more," adding, "I have trouble believing that any credible board or board member of an institution the size, importance, and complexity of Children's would make such a claim." Well, ABC-7 tried to reach Children's Hospital Board Chair Rosemary Castillo. We were never able to. Today, we spoke with a teenage chemotherapy patient at Children's who's now concerned that the hospital could shut down.
I'd rather stay here because my dad's here, my friends, my mom. It's easier than going out of town because we wouldn't be able to be here with my family.
If it goes bankrupt, I mean, that could change. So does that concern you?
Yeah, because I really don't want to have to go out of town, but if we do, then we have to, and my mom's not going to be able to work.
Well, tonight, some of you already chiming in. JR telling us sad and stupid, the entire idea of Children's Hospital in this minimum wage town. Strong words there, JR, but we do appreciate you chiming in the discussion. We invite you to do the same right now. By the way, today we learned that this is the new CEO of El Paso Children's Hospital. The new permanent CEO is Mark Herbers. Now, he has 25 years in the healthcare industry business, working as a chief financial officer for both nonprofit and for-profit hospitals. In this new position, he's taking on this struggling hospital, again, now $90 million in debt to the neighboring county hospital, UMC. Then Paul telling us tonight they're bankrupt, but he will still make six figures. Who did the math? Thanks, Paul. Well, ABC-7's complete coverage of this hospital dispute It continues on our website, KVIA.com. Information on the 20 hospital closures and bankruptcies the U.S. saw this year, plus how other leaders saved some hospitals from total collapse, and, of course, background on the new CEO we just told you about. Just look for the links mentioned section at KVIA.com. Huge news out of Washington tonight. The House just voted to approve a bill to fund the Homeland Security Department for one more week. Now, that bill goes to President Barack Obama for his signature tonight. The leaders in Washington, they are trying to figure out how the government is even going to operate if a government shutdown happens at midnight. Now, the president is also circulating a document that pretty much outlines what will not be affected by the shutdown, including airport security, checkpoints, Secret Service activities, and even Border Patrol. Employees involved in planning, auditing, training, and other policy functions that would be furloughed. Tonight, Mark telling us it's not a government shutdown. DHS will still function until they get funding. And Rodney says it's not a shutdown. Every important part of TSA will continue working. Only the non-essential personnel will be affected. Again, midnight being Eastern time, so watch ABC-7 at 10 on ABC for the latest. Hey folks, have you seen this at the I-10 Loop 375 interchange in Far East El Paso? TxDOT is saying, don't worry about it. It's all part of a scheduled construction project that is underway, and it looks though like it fell apart. That's what some of you wanted to know, saying the pillar supporting the overpass was just crumbling. But again, you see that rebar there? TxDOT saying nothing to worry about. Something to worry about, though, tonight. Some traffic caught up because of that area over on the far east side. Here you see East Lake just past the area we showed you. It looks good there, but a little while ago we saw some backup at I-10 West and East, right at Americas and I-10. But right now it's starting to clear out. So it was construction, no word of any accidents. Well, the weekend is off already to a windy start. ABC-7 video from East El Paso today showing those wind turbines over at I-10 and Airway. They are in use and generating some power, we're told. There is a chill, though, in the air tonight. Nichole, let's go ahead and get your storm track weather forecast. I walked outside a moment ago. I need to remember my jacket. It's such, it's hot in the daytime. I forget my jacket. It's cold at night.
Oh, you didn't bring it at all?
I did not.
Oh, shame, shame, shame.
I had a little sweater my mom reminded me of.
It is cold out there, though. You're right. And the winds are still blowing pretty strong. They're going to continue this weekend, but we're tracking rain. We'll get into those details in your full forecast. But let's take a look at some of those numbers. At the airport, we're at 12 miles per hour. Las Cruces, 17. Guadalupe Pass. Our gusts, not so bad tonight, but just keep in mind, this is not the end of the winds. It feels like it's 23 degrees in El Paso, 28 in Las Cruces. That's the wind chill, 32 TRC and 34 out in Silver City. And here, your WeatherNet site sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm off Viscount, 33 degrees. Notice the winds not too bad out there, but stronger here on the west side of town, just outside the studio, where we are sitting at 38 degrees. So the winds are going to stick around tonight. Good news is we'll see warmer temperatures tomorrow, but more wind on Sunday. And we'll take a look at some of the event forecasts. A lot going on this weekend, Bob.
All right, thanks so much, Nichole. And moving on now to the stories that has everybody talking tonight. If we haven't heard from you, Nichole, tell them how to connect with us.
So easy. You can connect with us on our two Facebook pages,
Yep.
See You on the CW and KVIA.com. You can also find us on See You on the CW on Twitter and on Instagram.
We are everywhere for you. We want to hear what you have to say. Now, this is the story that's the talk of the borderland tonight. It's even getting some national attention because the game was on national television.
That's right. UTEP basketball coach Tim Floyd suspended. He'll miss tomorrow's game at Southern Miss because of what happened last night. You know, a lot of people have differing opinions. Tonight we're asking, what did you think about UTEP coach Tim Floyd's punishment? Was it too harsh, too soft, or appropriate? You at home, you're telling us all the above. We're getting all kinds of reaction. Nichole, let's go ahead and start with those people who are not happy with Coach. Adrian saying this isn't the first time Floyd does this. The man is an embarrassment to the university. And Nash says his whole team should be suspended from the game for the lack of effort they gave on national TV. So disappointing. And Rocky saying Coach Floyd needs to keep his cool. Referees are going to make bad calls, and you can't keep blowing fuses, gaskets every time. Needs to set an example for his players. Okay, folks, if you don't know what we're talking about here, it all started with this play last night in Ruston, Louisiana at La Tech. Off a missed three-pointer, UTEP's Hooper Vint battling for that rebound, though. He gets called for the foul. It was not a good call. If you watch closely, Tim Floyd definitely didn't think it was a good call. He was actually so mad he wouldn't get off the court, and that is when he was ejected from the game. Conference USA is making Floyd sit out now for a game. ABC-7 Sports Director Danny Mata gives us a little play-by-play of what went down on the other side of it.
It started with Floyd getting a technical foul for arguing a call. UTEP was down 12 at this point, and you can see Irvin Morris steps in to hold him back. Floyd keeps barking, and then he gets tossed. Morris still trying to hold him back. Coach Floyd pushes him away and just tears into the refs. That will cost him a game. Tim Floyd suspended for not leaving the court in a timely fashion. He will not be on the sideline tomorrow night against Southern Miss.
And that was Danny Mata. Thanks so much for putting it in perspective for us tonight. Now, I know you're a UTEP basketball fan, so this story hits close to home for you, Nichole.
Oh, it does. And Elizabeth, too. She says he was beyond frustrated. He lost it a bit, though. To grab his own player, that's not all right, Coach. And ABG, if UTEP does not make the NCAA tournament this year, he's got to go, he says. It's been nothing but 5 years of mediocrity since he's been here. Brian, he acted like a moron.
Yeah, those are Brian's words, not ours. Also, others saying, though, CUSA officials, made the right call. Like, for example, Chris, UTEP whiners. Richard saying, even if UTEP got the calls, they wouldn't make their free throws anyway. Refugio, Little Bear, Haskins, just like the old days, referring to Coach Haskins. And Roberto saying this, Nichole.
Maybe if the Miners had played with the same fire and enthusiasm, this wouldn't have happened. Ernesto, policy is policy.
Well, Coach Floyd, he certainly has a lot of supporters out there tonight, like Diane, saying, I think it was way too harsh. He was right to get angry at the referee. It was a very bad call. He needs to fight that. Way to go, Coach. You had every right to get angry. Now, stay with us in about 15 minutes. We have all of the comments supporting Coach Floyd. We don't want you to think we're all about negativity here. Some more good news. It looks like the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces will see its first sellout since the Nevada game in 2007. There are just 15 tickets left for the March 7th game against Chicago State. Remember, the Aggies clinched the WAC regular season title? Well, the school wants to send them to the conference tourney on a high note. MSU is at Texas Pan American tomorrow and has the week off and then plays March 7th. 15 tickets left. If you want to go to the game, you better hurry. And Nichole, let's go into a checklist here, right?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, we had big concert announcements. First up, Salt and Pepper.
Check.
Okay, that was my favorite. We also had Ricky Martin.
Check.
Get a check on that. And the metal band Slayer.
Check.
Does that cross the whole spectrum of music? Well, tonight, I'm asking folks at home this. What announcement has Hector saying, finally a good concert coming to El Paso? Ian, though, as I said at the top of the show, well, Ian, I wonder if they bring their walkers on stage. That's not nice, Ian. Talking about none other than these guys. Yeah, that's right. ZZ Top coming to El Paso. Details on the show, and already hundreds of comments on our Facebook pages. Almost 1,000 likes. People loving these guys. And the weather, how windy will it be this weekend, Nichole?
Well, we'll take a look at that exclusive dust cast and let you know just how strong the winds will pick up this weekend. We're also tracking rain. Details in Storm Track Weather.
And it's Furry Friend Friday, all coming up throughout this half hour. You've been sharing your pictures with us, and we will share them with you. Don't forget, this is ABC 7 at 9, where you don't just watch the news, you are the news. We'll be right back.